Just as I have written a plan covering 6 months, 1 month, weekly, and daily, each one being more detailed, it really helps, and not just for trading. Tomorrow at 10:30, my dog has annual jabs. Is that dog fighting? Probably not. I only started this a couple months ago, and I'm achieving far more than I would have thought. Yeah, important that you know yourself. Know yourself. Know what gets you on the right track. And everyone's different. Some of you guys are out there with like, man, fully written plan of every single moment, every single hour of the day. Not for me. Well, then guess what? It's not for you. I used to try to plan out every single hour of my day. Right, I'd write it out at night because I believe that's the best time to plan. Write your goals for the day at night. And I'd be like, okay, first hour, I'm going to do this. Second hour, I'm going to do that. Third hour, I'm going to do that. And then guess what? I didn't stick to it. Because sometimes things took more than an hour. Sometimes things took less than an hour. So maybe some of you just need a task list. I have to do this. Or a preferred task list. I would prefer to do this. Find your way of task management and goal setting. And plan it out. Yep. Naomi says, yeah, that's difficult in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, but some people really like it. Like, I enjoy it. I've been using the Pomodoro technique I told you guys about. I don't specifically stick to it per T, but it helps. It helps. So, you gotta find out what works. Some people are very robotic like that. Some people are like, you're really, I've dealt with people that are really strict where it's like, time's up. Yeah, but we're not done. No, time is up. So everyone's different. Now, because I just set a timer and pause every time I stop, then I can see how much work I actually do. See, what I like about the Pomodoro technique, and hopefully you guys have heard that podcast, is it's not necessarily the time, but it's the focus. It's me saying that, okay, when I hit this timer, I'll bring it up for you guys. I don't have an actual timer. I used the internet because it's 2019, and why would I get a timer when I can use the internet? I hit this timer, and I just say, boom, all right, 25 minutes. I'm locked in on whatever my task may be. And what it does is in my head, it tells me, okay, Akil, don't go on Facebook. Don't go on Twitter. Don't check your phone. 25 minutes of straight action on whatever I'm doing. And I try to stick to that as much as I can. Now, what I don't do is I'm not consistent with the breaks, right? You're supposed to take short breaks in between. Typically, I'll just work during my break. Every once in a while, I go out and play with the kid, but I usually do that for like a lunch break. So I don't really do the break part. That's my problem. I just go right through it. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not done yet. Task completion issues. I don't want to get 90% done a task and take a 5-minute break. No, I want to finish it up. But the point is, it keeps me from like doing something and then getting distracted and being on Twitter and then 10 minutes later coming back, right? So it allows me to really focus 25 minutes on a specific task, which I like. So it's a personalized version of doing it. Realistic for me is 1 year testing per day. Nice. Can you actually get a lot done 25 minutes though? I found I'm just finding my groove by the time is up. Well, it depends on how focused you are. How focused are you in the beginning of those when you start doing something? Are you fully dedicated to that task, or are you kind of like checking Instagram? And that's where people get into trouble, right? You can do a massive amount in 25 minutes. The problem is why a task that could be done in 25 minutes can typically take an hour because of distraction. So I do 5 minutes and then I get on Twitter real quick, right? And then before I know it, I spent 5 minutes on Twitter. I'm like, crap, I'll get back to work, right? I do 5 minutes of work, then I get distracted and I get on a YouTube search, or I go on Instagram and I just start scrolling through stuff, whatever like that. And then before you know it, your 25 minutes is up. Well, we actually didn't do 25 minutes of working, did you? No, you did probably 10 minutes of working and 15 minutes of playing around. So if you actually focus, if you think about it like a race, right? If you gun goes off at 25 minutes and you turn everything else off, and there are programs that you can actually set, I think will turn all your stuff off or whatever like that. and you just focus on your task, you can get an hour's worth of work done in 25 minutes. And yeah, and I do this with students. I've got a lot of students in the college level, and it takes a massive amount of time to study, and a lot of them are they struggle with study habits. And I ask them, I said, hey, well, do you have your cell phone when you study? And they're like, yeah. Like, well, how long did you study for last night? Well, like 2 hours. Okay, well, how long did you study for, like, before going on your phone? And it's like, well, it was probably like 10 minutes, and I went on my phone for a little bit, and then I did like 10 more minutes, and I was on my phone for like 20 minutes. I'm like, well, okay, so you're spending more time on your phone than in your studies. That's the problem. So we've implemented techniques where it's like, okay, give yourself a break. Basically, your Pomodoro, where it's like, hey, do this, turn your phone off or set a timer on it, give yourself 30 minutes of study. And then your reward for 30 minutes of studying is 10 minutes of social media, right? 1 to 3, right? 10 minutes of social media. And then you have your 10 minutes of social media, give me 30 more minutes of studying. And then you get 10 more minutes of social media, and then 30 more minutes of studying, then 10 more minutes of social media. So now you still got your same 2 hours of work time, right? 30, 30, 30 from the studying, and then 10, 10, 10 from the social media. You still got your same 2 hours of work time. But you've been so much more productive because an hour and a half was dedicated to studying, where a half an hour was dedicated to a break, which is needed anyway to deal with information overload. And only a half an hour of that was dealing with social media instead of maybe having an even split before. So I would definitely advise that you would be surprised how much you can get done in a very short amount of time if it's your full focus. If it's your full focus, give it a try. Click that tomato button. Click that tomato button. Give yourself 25 minutes. Reward yourself with 5 minutes of social media time. Something I do in the morning, Naomi, while we're on this topic, is I dedicate a full Pomodoro to social media time. I worked it into part of my schedule. Right? I told you guys, I shared with you guys my routine on numerous occasions, right? And the first thing I do is what? Look at the charts and trade? No, right? It's the wake up after wake up, right? I'm an early bird. I wake up, I'm fine, but my mind is not necessarily as awake as my body is, right? So I shouldn't be jumping into the charts and day trading as soon as I wake up. So I want to give myself a good time to really get focused and maybe get some I say food, but really water in the system, right? So I dedicate a full Pomodoro. The first thing I do is I say, hey, I've got 25 minutes to do social media. So I get it out the way, get that urge out the way. And for me, social media is like marketing. I don't really care what other people are doing on there, but it's like marketing. So it's like responding to comments. It's if I need to create more posts for today, like a quote of the day, something like that. I dedicate 25 minutes. I'm going to get all the social media stuff I need to do done in this first 25 minutes. And then boom, it's out of the way. And guess what I'm not tempted to do afterwards? I'm not tempted to check anything because it was already done, or at least check it until my breakfast break. So it's already done. So you can even dedicate time to social media. Dedicate those 10-minute breaks or that 5-minute breaks on the Pomodoro to your social media or whatever your temptation is. For some of you guys, it's like working out. Dedicate 10 minutes, get your push-ups and your crunches in, whatever it may be. Dedicate that time to it. Do it. No, I'm not a teacher. No, I just dealing with track and field, and even with when I dealt with kids in elementary schools. Well, they didn't really have the social media problem. That was more of a behavioral health thing. But no, not teaching. Just dealing with students, student athletes, keeping people and making sure their study habits are good, making sure their grades are good. People think coaching, right? When I coach, just like you guys, when I coach track and field, it's just not telling them to run. It's an all-around coach. So just like I've worked with many of you guys on like your business development, I work with them on lifestyle. We do the Deliberate Success program and mindset and self-confidence and empowerment and stuff like that. We're working on building an all-around person. So it's not just hey, come run. That's it's hey, you know, let's keep you eligible. Let's get you graduated. Let's get you in shape to get a good job, or to go to grad school, whatever it may be. We want you coming out a better. I'm working with people that are going from kids to adults. Basically, I'm molding adults so they can be productive members of society and have a great life. So that's what we're doing. It's more than track. Now, track is the fun something to do while doing it. But yeah, it's much deeper than that. Much deeper than that.